Okay, once I have all the features finished on the head to my character, then I'm ready to make the base. So I'm going to set that off to the side, and I'm going to get a piece of clay that's about the size of both of my hands wrapped around that clay. And I'm going to wedge the clay first. As I'm wedging, remember that my dominant hand is going to press the clay down more. So I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be pressing more with my right hand. That's naturally going to create a cone shape. Then what I'm going to do is start to stretch that cone. I like to kind of tap it on the table to start to form the cone. Remember, the bottom has to be flat so it balances. So I'm just going to pat that on the table so it's balanced. And then what I can do is start to kind of push the clay with my hands to finish the shape. When I think I'm finished, I'm going to take my headpiece and I'm going to set that on my cone until it touches. Once it touches, I need to look at this space. If this is enough distance to do the entire rest of your body, then continue to use that cone. But if you know that this distance is not tall enough, then you need to stretch your cone taller. So I'm going to make mine a little taller. So I'm just going to press the clay to stretch the clay, get my base stable. And then when I look at the cone, I want the top of the cone to be about as tall as my finger. So if it's not, it needs to be as wide as my finger. If it's not as wide as my finger, I need to stretch the top of that cone. Then I'm going to set my head and test to see. So I think that's enough space. That'll work for me. So I'm going to set this off to the side. Then I need to have a plan for the rest of this cone shape. Is my arms and legs, are they going to attach to the side? Is my character going to be in a seated position? If it's in a seated position, then I'm attaching legs off the front. Or does my character need to stand? So remember that bobbleheads are supposed to have a bigger head in proportion to the rest of their body. So it's okay to have short, stumpy legs and smaller bodies because that's kind of true to the caricature of a bobblehead. So if I want mine to be in a seated position, then I would be attaching legs to the front of this. If I want it to be in a standing position, then I'm going to split this cone in half to create two different legs. So if mine is going to stand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife tool and I'm going to cut this in half to be about the length of my legs. And then I'm going to split those legs apart. So now it still stands, but now it's two different pieces. But this is too thick for your clay to stay that size because it's thicker than a finger. So what I'm going to have to do is hollow out my clay.